The last conquest of these by a non-Islamic army was Genghis Khan. Now, I would like to think our rules of engagement are probably just a little less ferocious than the Great Khan, one hopes. In any case, in successive centuries, the Sikhs, the Brits, the Soviet Union, and the United States have tried and failed to subdue them totally. The issue here really is that the tragedy, I think Walter really got to this, was that the original ISAF concept was to work with them and to get into the local community and to understand how the local community worked and to be able to operate with it. But you can't do that at the same time that you're shooting off bullets and bombing people at the same time. It's amazing how being bombed makes you unwilling to cooperate. What has happened, in fact, is that the so-called Taliban, which is sort of a misnomer, really, but young Islamic insurgents, Pushto-speaking Islamic insurgents, have allied with the clan chiefs. And these clan chiefs really kind of resemble, if you think of the Mel Gibson movie and my ancestor, who's not really directly ancestor, William Wallace, you're looking at the kind of society that is, okay, roughly. I mean, it's a long, long time ago. If you think of the Scottish Highland resistance to Edward, that's kind of how they think of what is going on at this stage. When we use the term failing and failed states, or VUCA, whatever it is, or however we phrase that, what we are saying, in effect, is not, really this is both arrogant and Western-centric beyond all belief. Because what we are saying is that unless a particular political jurisdiction adopts the accepted post-Westphalian model of governance, it is a quote-unquote failed state. Well, there's lots of places that have governed themselves for a long time in a non-Westphalian mode, quite successfully. It is both staggeringly patronizing and arrogant to expect that these areas are going to quickly or readily be brought into this, and is damn sure not going to be brought in by force. Okay? If we're going to do it, we're going to do it by example, by making it. How did my ancestors, the Scottish Highlanders, end up getting brought inside the tent? They didn't do it every time the British went north with an army and got creamed. What finally did it was that it became very attractive to come and farm and work in cities to the south in a much more pleasant than trying to break stony ground up in the Tules. In other words, it was carrots not sticks that ended the endless series of Scottish insurrections. And I expect exactly the same thing's going to happen here. Let me. What I'm going to do, I think, to describe the direction NATO is going, is I'm going to use a very loaded word, and I expect to get some comment back from it. That are we, and I'm just going to ask this as a rhetorical question, are we in the West, meaning NATO, okay, are we beginning the process of recolonization?
Yes.
Are we doing this? I'm asking this as a question. Are we beginning to recolonize the global South? And obviously only part of it. We're not. This is a work in progress, but I see many of the same kinds of attitudes: the contempt for the forms of the cultures, the contempt for the forms of governance, the security fears, the overwhelming sense of superiority of our culture, our religion, our everything else that one saw at the beginning of the colonial era. I would like to think that we will not, to use the Russian expression, we will not step on the same rake twice. Okay? The Russians have some lovely, colorful expressions. But I'm afraid that when I listen to the people telling me all these details, I'm hearing the construction of an international colonial army. And I'm sorry, but that's what. If I'm wrong, please tell me. But this is very scary.